Peace, beautiful soul. My name is Troi Lauren of Doula. For the last 5 years, anytime I said, I'm a doula or I'm a birth coach, people would ask, oh, you catch babies? And the answer is no, I do not catch babies. But you know who does catch babies? Midwives. So today we're going to talk about the difference between a doula and a midwife. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and sick to your stomach trying to maintain pre-pregnancy responsibilities, grow a baby, and be the best version of yourself for everyone else? If you desire a stress-free birth and postpartum healing that physically prepares your mind, body, and soul for parenthood without the fear, confusion, and isolation that comes with unsolicited advice from both medical professionals and loved ones, then mama, you can turn fear into joy, confusion into confidence, and isolation into connection without feeling guilty, selfish, or inconsiderate. And I want to show you how. Welcome to Nurture Your Pregnancy Journey podcast. I'm your host, Troi Lauren, creative mother of two, birth coach, and traditional postpartum healer. On this podcast, you will learn the effects that stress has on your pregnancy journey and practical tips that will help you seamlessly insert self-care into your daily life from professional parents just like you who desire to put the control back into the hands of mothers for a positive pregnancy, birth, and postpartum experience. So whether you're a first-time mom or a mother of many, I am here to support you as you only do the things that bring you joy. Let's go. So on today's episode, we will talk about the difference between a doula and a midwife. A doula is a birthing professional. It's a perinatal community health worker who can support in any birthing scenario. So whether that's a home birth, a hospital birth, a birthing center, whether you accidentally gave birth in a car, in a Wawa, a Walmart, walking in the park, your doula is there consistently throughout your prenatal, your birth, and your postpartum experience. Now, midwives are also very similar where they do a lot of the medical work. They are the medical support within the birth team. So they're doing they're checking your heart rate and your blood pressure and monitoring yourself and baby. They are catching the baby. They are letting you know some of the things that you need to do to better prepare for birth. But they're not doing it. The doula is going to do those things with you. Sometimes the best and greatest duos include a midwife and a doula. The birth team is not complete without both. We are complementary to the team you already have established, and we come in support of you. Midwives are very different from OBGYNs or hospital staff that you'll find because they're a little bit more open to holistic wellness practices to actually jumpstart labor, to improve and progress labor. They are just more open to a natural labor, whereas a hospital setting, a hospital is for an emergency. So they are there and prepared for that scenario, and they also prep you for that. If you are going to do a home birth, a midwife is what you would want to contact. You'll want to contact the midwife so that they can be present. A doula present at your home birth without a midwife is considered an unassisted birth. A lot of doulas don't do that. It's an insurance liability. It's a liability. All kinds of things can happen throughout labor. Now, it is a natural experience that is beautiful. It's a marathon and things happen. There are so many twists and turns, and without the support or the actual awareness of your physical body, of what's going on, how to tell if there is a problem or if things are going as they should, it can get a little scary. So midwives are important to have at home births, and they're your first stop. Now, I have clients who come to me and I'm their first stop, which is really beautiful because then I get to help you find a midwife that aligns with your morals and your values and can see you for what you want to do, see you for how you want to be seen, can ensure that your experience will be as you desire it. So let me get back to that definition. Google definition of a midwife. Boom. It is a person trained to assist women in childbirth. Okay, so that makes sense that people are so confused about the two. That's such a broad definition. A trained person who, a person trained to assist birthing people. That definition could describe both a midwife and a doula. Let me tell you some of the very key differences. You'll see a midwife in hospital settings. You will see a midwife in a birth center. You will see a midwife in a home birth. It's true. Midwives can work in all of the spaces. They are the medical support. They are checking your blood pressure, your heart rate. They are monitoring you and baby. They are assessing your health. They are prescribing things. They are, doing all of those sorts of tasks. Now, the difference over here, we have a doula or a birth coach like myself, who is a trained professional perinatal community health worker. So we support you and the midwife and your partner and everybody on a birth team. We can also work in a hospital, a birthing center, or a home birth scenario. Those things line up and they all make sense. Here's why the two are necessary. Whereas our midwife will be dealing with our medical aspect, the doula will deal with your informational input. They'll deal with your education. They will ensure that your needs are being met. They are advocating for you. They are in a space with you more consistently than the medical staff, right? We are the liaison between you and the medical staff. So a doula is going to help you get in optimal positions to progress labor. A doula is going to help you create the environment that will induce labor. A doula will help and educate your partner to support you in the way that you see fit, in the best way possible. A doula is emotional, physical, and educational support, whereas a midwife is medical. A doula is tapping into everything else. So the two make sense paired together side by side. Some people only get midwives and some people only get doulas. In both of those scenarios where one or the other is missing, there is a key component that is missing from the birth experience, from the pregnancy journey in general. Are we ensuring that we're nurturing our pregnancy journey when we just have the support of a midwife? Are we making sure that our birth team is prepared for the birth of your dreams when you just have a midwife? Or are you settling for a few things? It's kind of like having a car and needing insurance and registration. You need registration in order to get insurance. You need insurance in order to get registration. So it's like, just have a doula and a midwife on your team for the best experience possible. And of course, there are some key differences between doulas and midwives in general. So the range of midwives are different. There are registered nurses that become midwives. There are midwives that are trained in academia to support you. And then there are traditional midwives, midwives who have gathered their information and their knowledge based off of experience and has been passed down from generations to generations. Most times you'll see this in indigenous cultures, and those midwives usually start really young. They're the little kids in the room with their mom or their TTs who've had 6 or 7 babies, starting off their journey to midwifery by like getting the napkins or the waters or the towels, but they get to watch. They are steeped in that experience. They have wisdom from experience, which, what is book smart without street smart? There is success in both, but we also know if you are book smart, you have to have experience, because the same things that happen in that book, when they happen in the field, it just hit different. It's like, whoa, wait, I can remember, where did that note, but when it's in your body, because of experience, you don't need to reference a notebook. You don't need to reference a book at all. You can just say, oh, I remember when I had this one client that needed to use because X, Y, and Z. They're just pulling from their past experience, which is another sort of beautiful. So those are the different types of midwives. I believe that there are more. I think that like trained academic midwife, there might be like 2 paths to that, and then there's the traditional midwife. Now, of course, there are so many different levels, variety of respect for each of the paths within the industry. Some people say that traditional midwives aren't as legitimate. Some people say collegiate midwives, you know, they have the information, but they lack the touch. Either way, what you get to do is you get to meet with as many midwives as possible. No matter what your birth plan is, meet with all of them and see if they connect with you morally, on your values, if they connect with some of the positions you want, if they connect with your ideal experience in general. Ask them what it is that they do, what are their rates, what is their experience, who do they work with. You know, those are the questions that you want to know. What is their price? The price point for the two are totally different. And when I say the two, I mean midwives and doulas. The price points are different. They are similar, but different. Your midwife will cost a little more. The investment will be higher. Your doula will also be a significant investment. You're getting someone to work with you, or some two. You're getting a few people to work with you for what will feel like a year or so. No, about a year, right? So the normal gestation period is 10 months. They say 9 months, but it's 10 months, 40 weeks is 10 months. And then we're talking about the postpartum. So we're going to support you anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, 40 days, or, 6 weeks postpartum. So you really want to consider that when you're considering the budget. You are allocating funds to support the next year of your life. You are nurturing your pregnancy journey in a way that is very intentional. There are also a variety of doulas out there. There are doulas that primarily focus on birth, so they do a lot of the education up front. They attend births. There are doulas that focus on the postpartum period, so they come in and they tend to mama and they tend to baby. They do light housekeeping, tidying, diapering, meal prep, cleaning, laundry, errands. There are traditional postpartum doulas that provide ceremonial healing rituals. There are traditional postpartum doulas that provide healing ceremonial rituals to mama and highlight the wellness of our birthing people, our birther. And then there's full spectrum doulas that support in education prenatally, that attend the birth, and then come through on the back end and are present for you in the postpartum. There are death doulas. There are all kinds of birth coaches out there and doulas. So when you are making your choice, make sure you pick someone who aligns with you, feels right, and feels like family. It's not just about their credentials. It's about the energy you get and you receive. It's about the morals and the values aligning. It's about the experience that you want to have. So keep those things in mind when picking your birth coach or doula. Now, the other day I went to a baby shower, very beautiful baby shower. And there were the balloon arches, there was the throne, it was like 2 thrones, they had the things, there were bouquets all over the place, the food, the chargers, like the people were dancing, the DJs. And you know what happened? That girl went into labor that morning. So we were at her baby shower, twiddling our thumbs, looking around. So the investment in the baby shower was grand, thousands of dollars, such a thing to consider that woman and her family didn't get to enjoy in the way that they intended. But when you invest in birth support and when you invest in your birth team, no matter the variables or the key factors, whatever changes, your birth team doesn't change, and they are there for you. They are there for you when the baby is coming in the car. They are there for you when the baby is coming in the middle of the night. They are there for you when your water breaks and you don't know what to do. They are there for you when you start to have the lightning pains. They are there for you when your nutrition is the cause of your gestational diabetes. They are there for you throughout these factors, okay? So it's a thing to consider what you want to and are willing to invest in during your pregnancy journey. That in and of itself is a thing we're thinking about as a part of the nurturing portion of your experience. Now, we've talked about that. Let's go back to doulas and what their roles are. A lot of doulas provide childbirth education. So we're talking about the stages of labor. We're talking about physiological changes. We're talking about hormonal changes. We're talking about what to expect in the hospitals, your birth staff. We're talking about breastfeeding support, nutrition surrounding that. We're talking about healing. Some of us talk about infant care. Tons of conversations surrounding preference and movement and pain management. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do you desire? My personal style as a birth coach, as a doula, to help you get to the birth of your dreams is to have you understand all of your options. We walk through inductions. We walk through both natural and medical inductions. We walk through both natural and medical pain management. We walk through what your support staff looks like. We walk through your birth plan in its entirety. So no matter the twists and turns, the bumps and bangs, or even just like the smooth sails, all of those things that take place throughout your labor, throughout your pregnancy, I'm here. I'm right there for you. And then on the other side of that, okay, I'm helping you with your postpartum healing. I am ensuring that you are healing in alignment, which is very key to eliminate or mitigate some of those lifelong pains that come with or that people associate with childbirth. A lot of those stem from misalignment. You have a baby, y'all out of whack a little bit, and then you just expect it to go back to normal. You're doing all of the things, or maybe you're doing nothing at all to help it go back in place, and the expectation is for it to just, do its own thing. That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. The truth is, sometimes we need manual support. Sometimes we need a correction and or an adjustment, kind of like a chiropractor, or kind of like you cracking your knuckles to feel comfortable, or somebody's stepping on your back, or you go to a massage to like really increase and improve blood flow and circulation and production. All of those things are to be considered when it comes to your birth, when it comes to your postpartum, when it comes to your pregnancy in general. Do you want a midwife? Do you want a doula? Do you want both? The two are extremely beneficial and they work very well together. Where a midwife is going to tell you what is necessary. All right, we're going to wait a few more hours. Ooh, your blood pressure is too high. Ooh, we need to really get they're letting you know what's going on. Baby feels a little small. Your doula is going to come in and say, here are the movements. Here are the specific movements that will work for you to get baby down as we wait. Here are the specific things that you can eat to bring and regulate your blood pressure. Here are these specific things that will work for your body. It's such personalized, individualized care that I wouldn't suggest anybody go into a pregnancy without a birth coach, without a doula, without support, without education, without the confidence in their bodies and in their team to safely bring baby earthside and bring you into your parenting journey. If you have any more questions about what a midwife is versus what a doula is and the difference between the two, feel free to come on into our private space, our private community, Soul Journey, where we deep dive even further wellness within our pregnancy journey. We talk all of the personal things. It is where you get to meet individuals like you who are on their pregnancy journey and nurturing their pregnancy journey in such an intentional way that they want to build community around them virtually, that they want to get as much information that is evidence-based and that is not scary, that does not run them off or increase their fear, but calms their nerves and settles their bodies. If you would like to share or know more or ask questions in this community, come and join us at Soul Journey, where I'll be right there. I'll be there talking to you so you get connection to a birthing professional. And it's free. All right? So I know I love free. If it's free, it's for me. The space is full of value. The community is absolutely beautiful. And you know it is because you're there. You know it is because I'm there. So if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and click through and I'll see you on the other side. Remember, there is a difference between a midwife and a doula. One of them catches babies. The other will ensure that you and your baby and your support team are totally taken care of throughout your pregnancy journey. Nurture your pregnancy journey in the best way for you. Well, since we're talking about this topic, I think our next episode, I would love to bring on a midwife. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that'll be it. We're going to be talking to the midwife in the city, Tranisha Williams, next week. So tune in. See you next time. Beautiful soul, that's a wrap for today. Look at you taking time out of your busy schedule for self-care. If you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor. Follow the podcast and write a review. Following and sharing is the best way to ensure that mamas just like you learn how to nurture their pregnancy journey. It also lets me know if you are enjoying this. So before you go, follow and share your thoughts, all right? I will catch you on the next episode. Happy baking and happy healing.